This is the Scary Movie Clubcast.
Live from the Clubhouse, it's the Scary Movie Clubcast. This is Amanda.
And this is Nadine.
And tonight we watched The Conjuring 2.
Oh, I said it with you.
I
think it's because you gave me an eye and I was like, who?
Just jumping in. Just a good summary. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's another story where we follow Ed and Lorraine Warren onto a paranormal investigation. This time, we're crossing the pond. We're going to England, to Eddingfield? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so. Like Edenfield. I don't think that there's a G. But
Edenfield. And there we come across this family. Single mom, 4 kids, no money.
Yes.
Crazy things are just happening in the house, particularly plaguing one of the daughters, the second oldest.
Yes.
What's her name?
Janet.
I'm just thinking about Rocky Horror Picture.
Oh,
Janet. Ed and Lorraine Warren come as representatives from the Catholic Church to see if anything's wrong, if they can do anything to help, but might be a fake. Mm-hmm. We don't know. And we find out.
Yep. So, I have the fun facts for us. Just something that I thought was fun was one of the first questions that comes up when you try to Google this is it safe to watch The Conjuring 2?
People be crazy.
People crack me up. Oh, the remaining members of the Hodgson family visited the set.
Oh.
Yeah, Frances O'Connor, who portrays their late mother, refused to meet them because she was afraid that it would affect her performance.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, we know that a lot of people accused Janet of just being like a gifted ventriloquist with these voices. And during a polygraph that they gave her, she admitted that about 2%, in her words, of the haunting was phony.
Mm.
But I tried looking it up and I couldn't get any specifics as far as what she said was fake compared to other things.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who do believe that it's real argue that it was impossible for her to have done the ventriloquism because it was impossibly deep for her age and her voice range and everything.
Yeah.
To have gotten that creepy and deep of an old man voice.
Yeah, and for it to not have made her voice sore after and stuff like that. But those are the same people who are and she even did it with a mouthful of water. And I'm you people haven't seen a ventriloquist show up. That's one of their first tricks.
You drink water and you talk.
Okay, so James Wan, the director, who is kind of cute. And,
yeah, he is.
Yeah. And
he's so talented.
I know.
Immensely talented.
Yes.
Think of a horror movie that is good and you're he probably did it.
And he's Australian.
Oh,
and
wow.
Pisces. And I'm I got a little time. What is happening?
I had no idea he was Australian.
And then I thought that this was hilarious. On his IMDb profile, it says his height is 5'3" and 1/2. I was dead.
He's just a little guy.
So cute. So he also said that he was offered, in his words, a life-altering amount of money in order to direct The Fate of the Furious, but he turned it down to direct The Conjuring 2.
Good for him, because he's a great horror movie director.
He loves it.
The Fast and the Furious movies are garbage.
Well, he did also direct one of those. I don't think that he dislikes them. I think he just loves horror.
Yeah, I mean, he should keep doing horror because he does great work. But the Fast and the Furious movies, in my opinion, are nothing to write home about.
So what he said about it was so cute. He was I feel rejuvenated to tell a scary story one more time. That's what he put on Instagram. That's so adorable. Which he also co-wrote Saw.
Yeah, I know. They he does Insidious movies too.
Yeah.
And in the first Insidious movie, there's a picture of the Jigsaw puppet on the chalkboard in actually the guy who plays Ed Warren's classroom.
I know. I love that. He loves working with him. And why not? Great guy.
Great booty.
Yes, Patrick. We see you. While promoting the film in June 2016, Vera Farmiga, who is the one who plays, what's her name?
Lorraine Warren.
Yeah. She was still suffering from a swollen lymph node. She received during filming due to the intense screaming she had to perform.
Oh.
And due to technical challenges, she would sometimes have to do the take 50 times in a row.
Oh, death.
I know.
No, thank you.
The worst.
I hope it wasn't the ones where she's all wet in the basement and crawling through the floorboards.
Oh no. On the first day of shooting, they brought a priest in to bless the set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. I just thought the wording of this was funny. The Society of
Psychical Research?
Yeah. Do you already know this thing that they said? I just
no.
think that the way that they put it was funny.
I don't think so.
So they researched the case a long time before the Warrens got there, and what they determined is that there was recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis going on in the house. And also, they were just in general weren't thrilled about the Warrens because they were like, we've been studying this case for over a year, and they showed up for a couple of days.
Yeah. They weren't that heavily involved like they are in the movie.
Yeah. Well, even in the movie, they're only there for a few days.
Yes.
So,
but the movie makes it seem like they made all the difference.
Yeah,
like they were
course.
like the linchpin of everything.
Yeah, you telling a story.
Yeah.
Oh man. So the part with the beat constable is like fairly accurate, where it really was a female cop, and the chair just moved on its own. And at first, she just immediately looks to the family members and is like, "Who's doing this?
Yeah, like who kicked this chair?
Like, how's this happening?" And so she went over to like check the chair for like strings and stuff like that. And when she saw that there wasn't anything attached to it that like they could have moved it, she put a marble on the floor to see if the marble would move, but it didn't. So that was like about the time they were like, yeah, I don't know what we can do for you.
Like, not my area of expertise. Have you tried the Ghostbusters? I know that there was a big thing in the like actual haunting, a lot of thrown marbles going around, but they think it was
like
just
Lego
the kids
pieces.
throwing stuff. Yeah.
And also, like, it's not shown in the movie. Well, I mean, I guess it is to some degree, but one of the other things that they would report is, like, items being, like, hot to the touch, like, too hot. The first Conjuring movie that they made, they were hoping to get a PG-13 rating out of, but it ended up going R. And so this movie, they just made it, intending for it to be R.
Forget it. We
like,
scary, we know.
They were like, you won't work with us. When Patrick Wilson sings his little like cameo thing in here where he sings Elvis, he was also Raoul in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I know.
It's cute.
I always think that when I first see him on screen. Raoul!
Okay, so the little girl who plays Janet, her name is Madison Wolfe. She's actually an American doing an English accent, but guess where she's from? Because this is the part that I think makes it impressive. I mean, not just the fact that she's a child, and she does a pretty good English accent.
Tell me. Florida. I have no idea. California.
Think inside joke that we do all the time.
Maine?
New Orleans.
No.
So impressive, I think. Which in general, that little girl just did a good job.
Yeah, she did. Very, very good job.
They ended up like, I don't think I wrote it down, but they auditioned girls from the US, the UK, and Australia. Like trying to find the right girl for this part.
Wow, that's a lot of competition.
I know.
Good for her.
She beat them out.
Good
and really, she really did do well, I thought.
She did, because I feel like it would be a very difficult part, especially for a young actor to play, just because it has, like, I don't know, like, a lot of parts to it. Like, you have to be, like, a scared little girl, but you also have to be, like, a menacing, like, demon ghost thing.
Yeah, it's faceted. It's a good role. Oh, okay. This is the part that I think is going to, like, blow your mind if you don't already know it, which, who knows, you might. So the nun was brought in later during reshoots, and it was not part of the original idea.
Whoa, that's so much, like, reshoots.
I know. Yeah. Well, the main thing that they were gonna do was, you remember the part that I pointed out where I was like, oh, did you see the monster that was there? Like when when Valak's like disappearing? That was the monster originally. The whole time. But then James Wan really wanted to play more on the idea that like her faith was being challenged. And so he wanted to change it to a religious symbol.
Smart.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like, I think the nun is like a really like spooky thing, taking something that like people are very familiar with and changing it into something menacing.
Yes.
Whereas like a demon could just come off really silly or goofy. You're like, whatever, that's not real. But like you might actually see a nun and be like,
yeah, exactly. For real though. Especially since it kind of looks like a man. It's like, what is this? It's very confusing.
Yes.
This is scary looking nun.
Yes.
So I think it was a good choice.
Good job to the makeup team.
Exactly. Oh, the scene where Frances O'Connor's character was woken up by the kids screaming and the drawers slam across the room was done in just one take.
Oh.
So nicely done for them.
Yes.
The real Janet, I saw her in an interview and she said that the first moment that she felt any semblance of comfort was when the Warrens showed up, because it felt like they actually wanted to help and not just like observe what was going on.
Yeah, and they probably bring so much good energy to it.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
They seem like really sweet. The movies make them seem very sweet, so.
I know. After the first Conjuring, Vera, who plays Lorraine, woke up the day after she got home with claw marks.
I'm like, nope, can't do any more of these movies. I'd be like, I quit.
She did say that she wasn't totally sure that she was gonna sign on for the second movie. Like, it was like something that she was going back and forth with in her mind. And then finally she just like told James, and she was like, if Patrick's in, I'm in. They're so cute together.
They are cute together. Oh, I love them.
It's so adorable. Oh, this one is kind of odd. One night they sedated the little girl to like try to get her not sleepwalk and stuff.
This is the real life story.
Yes, the
I
real
was
life
like,
story.
this would be weird if they did this to the actor.
Yeah. Okay. And when they came back in to check on her, she was then sleeping on top of her bureau. Like, really
No.
weird way. That was pretty creepy.
I would hate that.
I know. So, like, the differences between, like, the real life story and the movie would be that, in a general sense, when it all started, the first night, the girls woke up their mom and their beds had shaken, but their mom was like, yeah, right, go back to bed.
Yeah.
And, like, totally dismissed it. And then it was, like, the next night or the next couple nights that the mom woke them up, and then the bureau did move, like, we saw it, and the mom, at first, just moved it back. I don't even know what she, like, thought was happening.
She probably just like, I don't have time for this. I'm a
She
working
was so
single
tired.
mother. Like, no, there's no ghosts in this house. Everything's fine. Go back to bed.
Basically. But then, so she has moved it back, and then it moved again. And then
The ghost's like, I am here.
and she tried to move it back again, and then she couldn't move it. And that's when she was like,
She's like, oh man.
And so then she went across the street to the neighbors, because the neighbors were real, and practically
cute.
just like that.
So cute. So, like, literally so generous.
Yeah, literally though. And the husband is like this big burly like construction guy.
Much
and
like the actor.
Exactly. Pretty on point.
Yeah.
And he goes over and checks the house for them, comes back, and he had like heard such weird things that he was like, these are not the sounds of a house. These aren't the sounds of mice. These aren't the sounds of pipes. Like,
He's like, I know the insides of houses.
exactly. And so that's when he was like, I think we should call the police.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are most of my facts. And my last fun fact is the funnest of all, which is that The Conjuring 3 is coming out June 4th, 2021.
More of the Warrens. Yes.
Yes.
We love them.
We ship them so hard.
Also, something we noticed in the movie is the name Valak is the name of the demon, and it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's in the background of in the Warrens' home. It's
Multiple
like,
times.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it when you watch it.
Yeah, once you know to look for it, you'll see it
You're
everywhere.
like, there.
I know, it's almost overkill once you like know to look for it. You're basically just like, how did I not see this before?
I know. So obvious. So, now it's the part where we're talking about our favorite scary parts. Again, the struggle of watching it for like the third or fourth time is hard to point out the parts that actually scare you or like really, really, really got you, you know?
Yeah. Plus, I feel like in general with the movie, it's hard to remember what originally scared you so bad, unless it literally scared you so bad that you specifically remember
You're
like that
scarred
scare.
for life. I'm gonna remember this till the day I die.
Exactly. And some of them do be like that. Kudos to them.
Yes, kudos. But something that I mentioned to Nadine when we were watching the movie is way back before the movie was even out, I was with a friend. We went to a movie theater. We were in the theater. There were other people there. We were going to see a different movie. The preview for The Conjuring 2 comes up. And it's just like, you're in the little girl's room and all the crosses like are slowly inverting because there's like a million crosses on all the walls. And you're just watching them all like invert, which is kind of creepy. And the little girl's just looking in the corner and it's just dark. Like it's even darker than it was in the actual movie. All of a sudden the creepy old man jumps out and screams, and then I scream bloody murder in a public place in a movie theater.
That's how the man to do that.
Like I'm being murdered. It was hilarious.
It always is.
I hope everyone who was there with me enjoyed that.
I'm sure they did.
You're welcome.
I remember when we went to go see Hereditary and you were like, what the? And everyone laughed.
What can I say? I'm fun.
You're like the person that you bring into the haunted house with you because they're more scared, and so it makes the people try harder.
Most of the parts weren't like so much like scream bloody murder, at least not this time. But I did do my
Yeah.
a few times. So she's trying to find the TV remote to change the channel, and she gets real up close to the TV, and then all of a sudden the old man pops up and he's like,
My house! And I laughed so hard. I thought it was the funniest thing.
Well, tell us your favorite scary part, and then maybe I'll say another one.
My favorite was like one of the first scares, and I just think it's like perfectly executed the way it's done. It was when the little boy has gone downstairs to get something, and then when he comes back up, he trips over his own toy, which is ideal. Love it.
The kind of justice you want.
Exactly. And then it like starts making the most obnoxious noise and turns it off just like kids' toys do. Slides it into his little teepee, goes into his room. At that point, it's getting so quiet. Whenever a scary movie's getting quiet, you know it's eerie. And you're like,
this ain't right.
Nothing good is coming.
Something's gonna jump out. There's gonna be a loud bang.
Exactly. And then they just keep showing just the exact right perspective because it's like you can't always see everything, and that's part of the fun. And then when the toy just like comes back out and slides into his room, that was enough for me. I mean, I didn't like jump or scream or anything, but it just gives you that like horrible uptight feeling. And then him walking with the toy back to the teepee, I found to be very unrealistic and kind of crazy. So that part wasn't as much for me, but just the toy coming back at him and towards his room was like, ugh.
I think that was one of the parts that really scared me a lot when I first saw it. When he goes back there and then there's just like that yell of the old man. Because it's like,
oh yeah, that yell is
like,
loud.
It's like dead silent. Right? It's just like all you hear is little boy footsteps towards his little teepee. It's the dead of night. No one else is awake. And it's just this man scream. And you're like, ugh.
It's unpleasant.
Yes. And then also like part where they're in that horrible flooded basement. Honestly, health hazard. There's like 2-3 feet of water. We have Ed Warren. He's like looking because the mother just was like, there's something behind you, Ed. Yeah. And he's like, oh, where? And then she's like, oh, where is it? And then she looks down and there's the old man's face under the water and it comes up and attacks her. Yeah. That got me pretty good.
It was a good one. That's creepy.
You're not expecting it. You're expecting it to get Ed. She also expected it to get Ed.
I know. Who wasn't? Oh, sweet baby Ed doing so many chores around the house.
I know. It was so sweet. They do such an excellent job of just endearing the Warrens to you.
But really, though. And I'm sorry, but if you're that 11-year-old girl, you've just found your new crush.
I know.
For years.
For so long, she's going to be thinking about Ed Warren.
No other man's going to measure up.
No. He sang to her. He gave her his necklace.
I know. She's going to be wearing that forever.
I mean, there's like a whole bunch of other moments that are like creepy and so like well done. Mm-hmm. But what were our favorite funny parts?
What were the funny parts? I mean, we make jokes.
Yeah, we're funny.
I know.
Always.
We're so funny that it's like, what did they do? That was funny.
I mean, I think it was cute when Ed was playing the Elvis and he was doing the lip too.
The lip is so good. Oh, he's so sweet.
It's adorable.
I mean, my house was very funny to me, but I don't think it was intended to be funny.
I don't think so, no.
But like, I was literally dead. I thought it was so good. Also, for some reason, it's very funny to me the first night that she like jump rope attaches herself to her bed and she just like slams.
Yeah, not the kind of way you want to wake up. Man. The floor hitting your face is not the most ideal alarm clock.
Funny.
I also thought it was cute when not so cute, but sad funny, when the mom is like telling Ed about their horrible deadbeat dad who left them. It's like, yeah, he took all the music when he left, and Ed's like, I know it can feel that way. And she's like, no, literally, he took all the records.
Oh, I know. Also, though, I found that to be a crazy question on his end when he was like, any chance for reconciliation? What kind of question is that? Like,
I'm maybe it's like trying to determine like how stable the situation is, because like I guess it could be hard for the kids to like have like a dad or whatever who's always like in and out, like you don't know if he's gonna be back or not or what. And I mean, I guess the kids don't really know, but like I guess him like coming back and leaving would make things more confusing.
Yeah. Just feel like when she said that he wasn't in the picture, that should be clear enough.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, he didn't write the script, so.
I did think it was funny, though, when she gave her son the cookies, and she was like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to quit for a while, because she had to quit smoking to get them the cookies.
But what are some of our least favorite parts? I would say my least favorite part is probably definitely the part with the Crooked Man. It just really takes me out of it. Mm-hmm. Too ridiculous for me. Like, even if it is supposed to look cartoonish, like, it just comes out of nowhere for me.
It's just fun to me that one in particular bothers you, because, like, I know that you're such a fan of it and The Haunting of Hill House and stuff, where they have, like, equally hard to believe ones.
I mean, it's a little different because it's like a weird shapeshifter, and that's like the whole thing from the beginning. But this is supposed to be like a ghost or a demon. And I mean, Hill House, yeah, there's the tall man, and he's like kind of weird and he floats. Mm-hmm. But like Crooked Man doesn't even look like the ghosts of like human or like demony, and this is like kind of like this cartoon. He has the weird hat that comes down to his mouth, and like he's too big, and I don't know. It just like maybe it's supposed to look cartoony, but I feel like it should have looked more real. I don't know. It just looks like a digital effect that was thrown into the movie, and so that's like pulls me out.
Yeah, which is odd because it pulls me out with the other two that we've mentioned, and it doesn't bother me as much with this one for some reason. It's odd. I guess because in my mind, I'm like, it's based on a toy. Like, it's the toy. But my least favorite part, for sure, is the little, like, montage that they do in the beginning, the London Calling montage.
It's unnecessary.
It's very unnecessary.
Like, I get it. Like,
it's just silly.
I'm not a simpleton.
Yeah.
Like, I understand where the British accent comes from. They all have British accents. We read words saying we were going to England. Like,
yeah, just waste of time. Like, come on.
I don't need the whole background of like the time period and everything that's happening in London. It doesn't even factor into like the situation at the house.
Well, and also the stuff that is shown in there is not like accurate footage from the time. It's just unnecessary and silly. But other than that, I mean, pretty well done.
Oh, yeah.
Not much that I would pick on.
Yeah, very good. The Conjuring movies really do raise the bar when it comes to horror movies. Our favorite parts, I mean, I think it's obvious.
Yeah, I know mine.
Like all the parts with the Warrens?
Pretty much. I think my favorite one, though, is when they're going to bed and he's like, I don't think I can sleep this far away from you. It's so sweet!
So cute.
His little bitch of cheeks.
I know. And then her sassy reply.
I know.
I just do something to look forward to.
They're so cute.
No, I adore them. They're like the cutest couple in movie history.
I think so, but
which is not something you would expect to hear from a horror movie.
I know. I mean, I guess I would put Dirty Dancing higher, but other than that,
those two just have amazing chemistry. Like, after they listen to that creepy recording, they put the two recordings together on the train, and then she has her vision. I just love the level of concern you can see in his face when she, like, comes back to, and she's got a nose, but he's like, oh my gosh, you're bleeding. You can just, like, so good. It's like...
It's so believable. I just want them to be married in real life. That's all I want.
I know, they'd be adorable.
I also want them to just be the Warrens. Because I want them to have the same powers, too.
Oh, yeah. And then it's so cute when they're telling Janet their story about, like, no one believed me, and then I found someone who did. You know what I did?
Oh, right. I married them.
Yes.
Oh, so you've heard the story before?
Yes. It's so cute.
It really
I can't take it.
Like, you would just think that us rewatching for probably the third time a 2-hour horror movie that we've already seen like twice would not be such a delight, but it really was a delight.
It very much was. And it doesn't even feel like 2 hours.
No, it really doesn't.
And like, I've seen movies that they were good, but you felt the time. You were like,
you know we have.
Oh.
Zodiac, we looking at you.
Uh-huh.
But no, the plot in this one, like, fairly well moves along. Yeah. And I also love the, like, way that it's merged together, like, the issues that they're facing at home and the issues that they're facing there. And it's just so well done.
Yeah, so that kind of basically just talked about how great the plot was and how everything, like, moves along so smoothly. Like, they're able to connect the Warren story and what's the family's name?
Don't remember.
It started with an H.
Oh, Hodgson or something? Oh, something weird like that, where it's not like an off the tip of the tongue one.
Yeah, no.
Not in America, at least.
But Janet's family and then the Warrens, just their stories just mixed together so like well and smoothly, and it, you know, you don't feel like you're jumping around from like America and the Warrens family story and the nun, and then like it all feels very perfectly connected. Those reshoots were worth it.
I really think so, yes. I do not think that I would have enjoyed it even nearly as much without the nun.
No. And then they get another movie out of it. Boom.
Yep.
He knows how to make money.
I know. We got some thoughts on that one.
Yes.
But Amanda said this too while we were watching, that it's really, they do a great job of making you care the right amount for the family that they're helping in whatever movie it is. Where like, you are invested in that family, but I mean, obviously, you're here for the Warrens.
Yeah. We're all here for the Warrens. More Warrens.
All day. And they did a great job. And also, I love the credits. Like, even the credits in this movie, I love, where they're like, look how good we did that. Like, look how similar these pictures look.
Yes. Also, I'd love to see the Warren Amityville movie, because, like,
yes,
just the scenes that we saw were, like, so good, and, like, living for the wallpaper in that creepy attic room.
And just why not? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know, maybe they feel like they've, like, been there. They're like, I mean, we do get a lot of Amityville in in this one in the beginning, like,
I
because
mean,
they're there and like
Not
okay.
that much though. Like
But
10
it's, like-
minutes, I guess.
I mean, it's still like a good amount considering it's not even about that story.
I mean, if you consider that it's not about that story, then sure. But I want a whole movie.
I know, yeah.
It would be so good.
Oh yeah, so we have to rate it.
Yes.
Okay, so I am gonna give this one. Man, I hate that I can never remember what I rated any of the previous movies we've done.
Never. I can never remember. I can only remember like a few that I remember giving 5s to,
Mhm.
and then other than that, nothing.
No, like I can't remember what I gave the original Conjuring, but whatever. I'm gonna give this one 4.5. Amazing, perfect. Ed Warren booties.
Yeah, I will probably give this one 4.7.
Ooh.
Beautiful Ed Warren booties,
Mhm.
because I like this one better than the first one personally, which is
Mhm.
super rare with a sequel. But
Yeah.
I don't know, the like tension just really got me in this one. And then so much of their cute relationship, and that's really what I'm here for.
Yeah, I know. Love them. Couple goals.
I can't wait
as
for the
per
third.
usual. Ugh, yes. The
Yes,
devil
yes,
made me
yes,
watch
yes.
it.
Ah! I'm gonna definitely be watching that one like pretty much the day it comes out.
Yes, 100%. We love the Warrens. We need more of them.
Yes, we'll wear our Conjure Thought shirts.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope you enjoy the movie as well. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Scary Movie Clubcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next movie night. And don't forget, there are 167 days until Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I sniffle to begin with? Trouble reading for no reason.
Did you get steamed in the face like Ed Warren, and now you're partially blind?
No,
Temporarily.
my eye was bothered when I saw that happen. I have like sympathetic eyes where if I see anyone's eye bothered, I'm like, I start twitching.
Trying to figure out where the TV remote is, right?
Mhm.
Pepper, we discussed this. Do not even think of having a snack right now.
Listen. Oh, he's like, I tried to tell you all nicely that I wanted to go out. Now you force me.
He's like, I'm on my perch. Let me out.
He's like, you have 5 seconds before the poster gets it.
Pepper, go.
Peppy, don't do this. Oh man, we've already been going for 20 minutes. Time is a crazy thing.
It is.